Hi guys, my name is Farouk Abbas. A few days ago, I did a short video on mentorship in Yoruba language, and based on the feedback I received from my friends and audience who watched the video, I decided to do this English version of the video, especially for my non-Yoruba speaking audience who want to hear my thoughts on mentorship. So here we go. Mentorship is a very important topic, and I feel that it is most important for professionals, most especially important for young professionals. And why do I say so? I realize now that with the prevalence of the internet and artificial intelligence these days, most young professionals or young people believe that they can go the whole hog on their own. They can achieve their vision on their own. They can achieve their goals on their own. They can take certain important steps on their own. You see a lot of young people who have very good jobs. Some of them just resign from their jobs without consulting. Some people who are doing very well in Nigeria just pack their bags and move abroad. People just leave their marriages. People take very, very rash and drastic decisions without consulting mentors. So I believe that mentorship is important both in our lives as a professional and as individuals. And I just want to highlight some of the importance of mentorship and my own experience with mentorship. Firstly, most of us go to universities, we finish from our university and we say we want to look for a job. In most cases, the kind of job we get is based on maybe something that we learned as a child or someone we admire unconsciously, whom we're trying to be like. A lot of us want to study a particular course or be a professional because our parents are in that profession, or some of our friends' parents are in that profession. So some of us even decide to follow a profession based on something we watch on TV. And that's not bad. I mean, I once read about a musician, a popular artist abroad, who maybe when he was about 7 years old saw somebody playing on air, on television. And based on that, he told his mother he wants to become a musician, and his mother bought him a guitar, and he became a world celebrity. So, I mean, it's not bad for you to take certain decisions on your own. But as professionals, before we can thrive or achieve our full potential, it's always very good for us to have mentors. And how do we identify these mentors? Before we can identify the kind of mentors we need to, first of all, have a personal vision for ourselves. So I'll use myself as an example. What's my personal vision for myself? As a young guy, I wanted to study law at the university based on the prodding of my dad, and I studied law after my dad advised me to study law. When I studied law, I wanted to work in a bank, but my dad advised me that I should practice law. And I went to court one day when I was in law school, and I enjoyed the court process. So I just decided that, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I love doing, and I started practicing law. And when I started practicing law, I worked with a few employers, and some of them I took them as my mentor because I learned from them. So my vision in life personally is I want to be a very good lawyer in dispute resolution. I want to be able to solve my client's problem. I also want to be very active in my community. I want to contribute to the development of my state, of my village, Afake, of my local government, Ejibu, of my state, home state, Osun State, and of Nigeria. So I see myself as a professional who would be involved in the governance and leadership of the country on the long run. So in achieving this goal, I need to identify people who have gone through that path before, people who are well known as lawyers, who are very good as lawyers, and people who have also done very well in contributing to the society. So I have a few mentors such that there's no decision I take in life without consulting my mentors. So I have mentors for different areas of my life. When it comes to my litigation, I do commercial litigation. I have about 2 or 3 mentors in that field. When it comes to my life as a husband, as a father, I have mentors whom I consult. So you identify people who you like, who have that quality you're looking for. You don't have to know some of them. Even on social media, you can see some of them on social media. You can talk to some of your professors, some of your lecturers, some of your colleagues. It might be your friend's parent. It might be a colleague in the office. A mentor does not have to be someone who is way, way older than you. You can have peer-to-peer mentors. So when you have your vision for yourself, look for those who are already living that vision and try to get close to them. Of course, when you see people who have achieved in life, who can act as your mentors, a lot of them will not be open to mentoring just every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So it simply means that you must make yourself valuable, sellable, attractive for your mentors. Because if you reach out to an important person to be your mentor, if he checks you out online and he sees that he doesn't really like what he's saying about you, He might not want to mentor you. So how do we achieve mentorship? Number one, we need to have a vision for ourselves. Do you want to be an international professional? Do you see yourself as the future governor of your state? Do you see yourself becoming the MD of a bank? Do you see yourself becoming the managing partner of a law firm? Do you see yourself becoming a founder, a tech startup founder? When you've identified that, now look for 3 people in that field who can guide you. You don't have to know them. If you identify those people, go on social media, check their pages, follow them, look at their activities. Some of them post what they plan to do online. If they have speaking engagement, go for their speaking engagement. Reach out to them. Tell them why you want them to be your mentor. But if you meet a mentor and you have a vision for yourself and you're already on the right track, you will be attractive to the mentor and he'll be willing to guide you. But the mistake a lot of us do is when we look for mentors or we have people who we meet for advice, we try to spoil the relationship by asking for pecuniary favors. Some people can even start asking them to borrow you money. You can tell them to look for a job for you. You can tell them to sponsor you. You can tell them to pay your rent or pay something. No, you don't ask your mentors for those kind of financial favors or pecuniary favors. You ask them for advice, for tips, for them to share their stories, for them to open their network to you. So when they trust you, they will open their network to you and they will carry you along in their activities. So let's not make this mistake of asking for favors, because when you ask for favors, you cheapen yourself, But if you have a good relationship with your mentor, eventually you can start asking for favors and it must be mutually beneficial. You can't just say you want to have a mentor and all you want to do is keep taking from the mentor without giving back. So if you identify 1 or 2 or 3 mentors who you want to mentor you, look for how you can add value to them. If you know how to use technology very well, teach them, give them feedback on what they are doing, share materials with them, share resources with them, introduce them to people if they are looking for employees, introduce them to people, add value to them. When you add value to them, they would also add value to you. And when you want to take fundamental decisions in your life, let's say you work in a company and you want to resign, reach out to your mentor, ask them for their advice. Tell them your goal. Why do you want to resign? This is what I want to do. This is my business plan. Mentor, advise me on this. What do you say about this? If your mentor gives you an advice, it doesn't mean you must comply with the advice. But when they give you an advice, they will have opened your mind to issues that you haven't considered before. And you can revise your plan and take these decisions. Recently, I had to consult one of my mentors. I saw a training I was interested in, and the cost of the training was £1,000. And my budget for that training was not up to £1,000. So I felt that, okay, do I do this training? Do I not do this training? So I was a bit confused. I then decided to reach out to one of my mentors. And I told him, okay, I want to go for this training. The training has about 10 modules. Out of the 10 modules, I'm already good with about 6. I just need about 4 modules that I'm not very good with. I want to learn. And this is how much I have in my account at the moment. Do you think I should go for this training? And my mentor advised me and he analyzed it for me. And he said, yes, the training is very important, but he doesn't think I should do it at this moment, given the financial constraint I had. And I should look for alternative means to learn those 4 modules. And later in life, if I have the resources, I can go for the training. I could have said this training is very trivial. I could have said, let me go to AI and go and ask AI. In America, a lot of youths these days are chatting with characters on AI. I read in New York Times recently that a child committed suicide, and it was after I was talking to an AI character. So I find it very ludicrous. I find it very shocking. Why should anyone want to be depending on chatting with AI character when we have so many smart individuals around us? There's virtual means of communicating, so you don't have to even be there physically to communicate with people. So let's identify our mentors. Let's consult our mentors. Those of us who are married, certainly we are going to have challenges with our spouses. If it gets to a point where you want to take a drastic decision, don't take that decision. Reach out to people who have experienced a problem before, because there's no problem you are going through in life that somebody hasn't gone through before. And if you look at great scholars, great authors, Benjamin Franklin, he had mentors. Chief Obafemi Awolowo had mentors. Gani Fayemi had mentors. There is no individual in life today who you research on who didn't have a mentor. Everybody always has, because mentors make our life easier. The paths that we are passing, other people have passed that path before. And from their experience, we can learn from them. From their guidance, from their wisdom, we can learn from them. So the summary of my paper today, or my presentation today, is that we need to identify mentors. As an individual, you should have at least 3 mentors whom you consult on important issues in life. Don't just rely on internet and the AI. There are some experiences that you need from the horse's mouth. So if you don't have a mentor today, go out there, search for a professional mentor, search for spiritual mentor, search for intellectual mentor, search for marital mentor. Those of you who are into fashion, search for fashion mentors as well so that you can look good. I mean, I love perfumes a lot. And some perfumes, before I buy them, I go on frangratica.com. I read reviews on perfume. A lot of us, before we shop for things online, we go and read reviews. So if you are reading reviews online before you take decisions, shopping decision, why shouldn't you consult mentors before you take life decisions, before you relocate abroad, before you resign from your job, before you apply for a new course? So mentorship is very good. I've benefited a lot from having mentors around me, and I believe you can also benefit from mentors. So in summary, as young professionals, let's not feel like we know it all because you have a master's from Harvard. You don't need to consult people. No, let's learn to consult. Let's have mentors around us, and let's continue to evolve. So I hope that our journey for mentorship will be easy. And in the future, I'm going to also give us more tips on mentorship because this is a topic that we have to keep on discussing. And I'll share various perspectives on how we can improve ourselves as professionals. Thank you very much.